righty. I am beyond excited to introduce you to Imani. She has been part of the Global Grant Writing Collective for 10 months. And before joining, you were already employed as a grant writer, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then I was working backwards through your year, and it has been absolutely a wild adventure, but I love it because a career path should be a DIY adventure. So you posted 2 days ago in the community group, and it has me glowing in joy that an informational interview you did a year ago has now turned into this totally cool consulting gig. Can we start there? Give the background. What happened?
Yes. So a year ago when I joined the collective, I made a list of nonprofits in my area that I was interested in connecting with. And one that came to mind was actually a nonprofit that I was an intern at in high school.
Cool.
And thankfully, they remembered me and had a good memory of me. Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
I was able to say, I'm learning how to write grants, and I'd just like to ask you some questions. That actually turned into another informational interview at that same place. So I had one interview with someone I knew directly, and then another interview with someone who vaguely remembered me, but remembered good things. And she was the executive director. And then a couple of months after that, I got a copywriting job. So not grant writing, but helping them to put together some fundraising copy for a year-end campaign that they were doing. And that turned out well. I think that was end of 2021. So I think the world was still a little crazy. Actually, was that end of 2021? Maybe end of, anyway, the world was crazy. So I didn't get a lot of feedback on that, but I got paid. So I assumed, all right, I think it went well. And then recently with my job as a grant writer, my part-time job as a grant writer, and then seeing how grant writing can almost be like a key to a bunch of different areas. Yeah. I've had this vision of wanting to see more equity in education. So developing like this idea, not knowing how to go about it, really interested in program development, but that's not something I have experience with. So I said I could use informational interviews as a way to connect with people and also mention, here's the success I've had as a grant writer. And in doing that, I reached back out to this nonprofit and just a little bit of back and forth over a few weeks. And that turned into an opportunity to sit in with them working with a partner on a bunch of different grants. So I was on a funding strategy meeting, just the two organizations deciding how they want to move forward, and I would be able to write grants for them. So I'm really excited.
This is so legit. Okay, so back up a smidge. Is this the vision you had to expand career readiness to underserved high school students through in-demand certifications? Is that dream?
Yeah, it's that one. Yes.
Ooh, sweet. Okay, so then this organization is sort of like the vehicle for which you're able to help see that happen.
In a sense, so this nonprofit, they bring arts and education, and so they're working with schools all the time. And my thought was, if I can connect with schools, then I can see how to bring these kind of programs into schools. And they happen to be partnering with a different nonprofit that actually does college and career readiness and other things. So it's like the perfect partnership and an opportunity for me to learn while getting paid. So
yes, exactly. It was like music to my ears. Learn while getting paid. Snaps.
Yes, that's all you. That's your direct quote. That's
it is. We've been thinking that we need to have like a manifesto of like random things that we say and believe that could be like in a printed block, like artwork, gorgeous. You know,
I would memorize that and say that every day. Honestly,
yes.
It's really good.
So good. Okay, so you've done a ton of informational interviews, and I appreciate that you have really embraced the essence of what it is, and then that it's truly curiosity. It's truly making connections and learning. So do you have any idea how many interviews you've done in the last 10 months?
Oh man. Okay, so in the last 10 months, total, not that many. Well, to me, I feel like I could have done more, but I've been very busy. I want to say I've had seven. I've reached out to many more. And I have found that the key is doing that follow up. So I haven't followed up with all of them. I definitely have not used the system, I want to say, perfectly. And it is in my opinion, I think it is a really great system. I was going to say a perfect system. Maybe that was like, it would be too, what's the word? Ambitious, but it's nearly, I think it's amazing.
Right.
If I actually
if we use it. No, I understand. Alex has had to train me to become a good Asana project manager too. Like it is not, it's not natural. But yeah, no, that's amazing. But you then also had, like, you went through a phase in the middle of the year where you were thinking about taking on a full-time grant writing job, right? Like at an actual, like as an employee.
Yes, I did. Yes.
Okay,
And
so what happened there? I mean, you had like, you put yourself out there and then you had like a dozen job interviews. So
that's right.
what
I
happened?
did have 12, literally 12 interviews.
Okay, so you have to factor that in because at the
I
end of the
forgot
day,
about
that's
that.
like that's a lot. 12 plus 7. I mean, you did like basically 20 interviews.
Wow, that's so true. Wow. Okay. Thank you for that.
Um,
Yeah. Whoa. I've
so what
had
did
a
you
lot
learn?
of
Like what like caused that in the first place? You were like, what led you to being like, well, maybe actually I don't want to freelance. Maybe I should, maybe I'd like to take a job. What was going on in your life at that time?
yeah. I wasn't getting paid enough at my part-time job. And um I saw that I could continue to learn, but I had a lot of skills that were being underutilized. And so looking for something salaried, because in my mind, um, working part-time, I was like basically punching in and punching out. So your hourly is not for me, is
No.
basically what I learned. So looking for something where I technically wouldn't be paid hourly. And I was looking for like the ideal situation where they don't really care how many hours you put in as long as you get the work done. I've seen jobs like that in other fields. So I just said I'm looking for the right one, and um, made all these great connections. I did use the resume template through Learn Grant Writing as well, and that worked really well. So
Wait, yeah, that was a great training. So then why did you decide to not take them? Because you had job offers.
a couple of them did not seem the right fit for my lifestyle.
Sure.
I may have been able to negotiate in terms of pay, which was very important to me. And I had read We Should All Be Millionaires.
Yes, I was just gonna ask. It's like mandatory reading.
Oh my goodness, mandatory, yes. So I knew that I could ask for more, but I also could see that what they would require would disrupt my work-life balance, and that's what I'm prioritizing right now.
Bless.
And then others, just from learning the unicorn method and applying it even in my part-time job, I was able to see there are certain nonprofits that just don't have a good understanding of grant writing, but they may not be willing to learn better practices. And so in those situations where I was offered the job, but it seemed like they wouldn't allow me to really lead in my role, I wasn't willing to take those jobs. So
Yeah, no, I love that. And I think that's this just brings up so many good things. Like number one, grant writing is not the end all be all. It is a tool for having a life you love. Two, yellow flags are important. You led in an amazing conversation in the community group about that. I mean, everyone chimed in on like yellow flags are real, so don't not look at them. And you stayed true to yourself, which is what led to this like latest win. Like you got it. You stayed patient. You didn't like take the first thing that came until you got something that's aligned with your life, like being a mom, being having time. Can you share kind of like how that's all feeling right now?
I am hugely proud of myself.
Yeah, you should be. It's a big deal. It's hard to say no.
It is. I feel like I'm very grateful for the community because I feel like I'm able to see other people who are doing it and having those examples of people who are creating that life that they want to live makes me think, okay, maybe I can do it too. And then putting those things into practice and being able to share and say, is this normal? Is this not normal? This is how I'm feeling. And for people to help me validate that has been very helpful. And I look back at who I was a year ago and I'm like, whoa, look at me talking about, I don't deserve that. I deserve better. I'm like so proud of myself. It's really,
Yes. Oh, it's so legit. Okay, so good. So let's talk about something that was really hard. So like what was something like what was a low moment? When were you in the valley of despair?
I think at the very beginning, the path looks clear. Like I have these informational interviews, and I'm going to land something right away and it's all going to work out. And I think when it doesn't catch on as quickly as I envisioned, that may have been a point for me. And then just life getting busy. And I think one thing I'm noticing, even I have to respond to someone else in the community. It's been a crazy week, but someone said, "Oh, thank you for sharing this. It's very motivating as someone who has a lot going on." And just, I didn't realize I needed that permission to be okay with, I have a lot going on, and doing the process in the best way that I could, and acknowledging that every step is a great step. So I think the valley of despair was probably when I wasn't doing as many info interviews, life was getting a little crazy, and I felt like that process wasn't moving along, but it worked out. So crazy.
Yeah, no, I'm so glad you brought all that up, because that's why we made it a year round. Because all this pressure to try to like completely radically overhaul our entire lives in the context of living our actual busy life in like this is just not practical. And so, yeah, I think that I just appreciate you bringing that up, because it isn't linear and you explored lots of different paths, but it ultimately got you to what you wanted because you had clarity on one thing, which was how you wanted your lifestyle to look.
Yeah.
So that's huge. Totally. Yeah, cool. Okay, so let's do kind of some rapid fire things. So complete this sentence.
Okay.
The Global Grant Writers Collective has helped me blank.
The first thought that comes to mind is believe in myself. I know that's like a very big statement.
No, it's legit. Great.
Yeah, I mean that. Yeah.
Okay, what emoji would you attach to that?
Maybe the heart eyes emoji.
Yes, cool. I don't even know why I thought of that, but I was like, yeah, believe in yourself. Like that needs like an emoji attached to the rest of it. Okay. What is one word to describe your dream lifestyle?
Free. Yeah.
That's exactly the word Jackie used.
Yeah. Free. Yep.
Yep, cool. Let's see, next vacation spot.
Jamaica.
Ooh, yes. Okay, fiction or nonfiction?
That's so hard.
You know, we're like coffee or tea, and everyone's like both.
I'm going to say fiction, but I don't read a lot of fiction. I read a lot of nonfiction.
So do I. So do I. I'm like, I need to get a life and read something that's like not psychology. So, what are you reading right now?
I'm one of those people who reads 10 things at once.
Sure. Ditto.
Man.
And then I can't remember the titles either. So you must.
Yes, exactly. Crazy Faith is a good one. It's like very motivational. It is religious. Mike Todd wrote that one. I like that one. And then there's a different one about overthinking, which is very timely for me. Oh man. Yeah. Oh, it's called Soundtracks. It's by John Acuff. Really good for some mindset work and how to undo like those negative thoughts.
Okay, score. We all need that. Soundtracks. And I will link this when we actually make this video. Okay. Last TV show you binged?
Rings of Power. I don't know if that counts as binging because they just keep dripping one out every week.
Sure.
Yes.
When you're loving. Okay, and what is your superpower?
Writing is my superpower.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, last question. So to everyone out there who would be listening to this that is debating about going after their dream or learning a new skill, what would you tell them?
Debating. Okay. I understand. In my mind, I was like either or. I understand what you're asking.
Maybe it's a bad question. We should probably make
No, it's all good. No, it's good. Go for it. It's worth it. Whatever that thing is that you're like, I want to change where I am right now. And, I have this idea in my head, just go for it. It's very worth it. It's hard, but it's worth it. Yes, go for it.
Wait, I feel like you're like the Nike swoosh, just go for it.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. That was absolutely amazing. I think this is going to be really helpful for people to imagine what's possible and understand that it doesn't have to be perfect to still be actually perfect.
Can I say one more thing, Meredith? Yes. the one thing that comes to mind, which has been really helpful for me, is like detach yourself from the outcome. Like if you just do it and not think, will this be successful or will this, not work out? Then I feel like the doing is the win sometimes. So that, yeah, that was super helpful. But thank you
It's
so
a
much.
really good tip because I think we do. I mean, I know I've done this myself for sure. We wrap up in our worth and our sense of identity and not realizing like you can still be very proud of your work and what you do, but it doesn't have to be everything you are.
Yes, yes, exactly.
Yeah, so good. Okay, well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Meredith.
See ya.